Dumelang, hala amogela lebeletse Daily Thetha. Gona mo gae mo SABC 1 ka leina ke Tumelo Setogolo sa mathomo sa ga Mothotwane. Always a pleasure being with you right here from 11 a.m. as the youth. And you know we're officially taking charge. But we're taking charge in a different light. We're not giving you a topic. We're not imposing what we think needs to be the topic of the day. We're actually depending on what is on your mind. Libon what's been happening in around the news. Libon what's been happening in our headlines. And as the youth, we also have a say and we need to share our opinions.
Sanibona nisimukele emakhaya Daily Thetha seyifikile ukuze kuyoshawa 12 o'clock namhlanje, and we decided to do Thetha moments. Yina ma Thetha moments so besikhuluma ama topic ahlukahlukene just to find out exactly ukuthi uthini umbono wakho, because babonile ama spin doctors aspina lezi story, but right now it's all about the youth taking charge on this show, and at home as well ungasali ngaphandle because sizobe sikunikeza ithuba lokuthi ukhulume nathi. Sifonela ku 0113391315 1315, yes, that's the number.
You're right.
And on Twitter as well, so let's scream about this because so much. If you have a topic at home as well, talk to us, tag us. The hashtag is #Daily Thetha. I mean,
just right now on on Twitter as well at @daily_Thetha. People are saying, let's talk about racism, unemployment, inequality. Some came out about let's talk about radical economic transformation.
Yep.
You have a say, so make sure you go to our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter, #Daily Thetha. Your Thetha moments. But just in case you didn't know, yesterday it was of course National Child Protection Week this week. It is World No Tobacco. It was actually my birthday as well. That's not news.
Yes.
It's
not
news.
It was actually
news. Guys, I need to clarify, I'm not 45, I'm 26. So this thing I told the room 45, it's not true. But besides that, let's talk about what's on your mind and what would you actually like to talk about. But as mentioned, Kini, it is World No Tobacco Day, and I consider if you smoke, my friend.
No, I don't. So because we challenging abantu ababhema ukuthi uhlale nje 4 days ungabhemile sibone ukuthi ngaba njani, because abantu abaningi bazama ukuthi bawuquit ukwaye and bathi akulula ngaleyo ndlela ngeke ngizimakhulumele because awubhema.
No, I tell you, game you. Sweet things I don't do now.
Okay, but it's fine. Today, Sanbonani studio audience, Sanbonani, welcome to Daily Thetha. Welcome to Daily Thetha. Maybe, just want to find out yona EP ngempela isihloko ofuna ukukhuluma ngaso senhlizweni yakho, and what's your take out of that topic? That's what we're going to be asking studio audience before we Thetha moment lapho zobephikela khona amakhadi. Angiqale ngawe siswami. What's your name and yiple topic esenyongweni yakho ofuna ukukhuluma ngayo?
Hi, Kamalami Utolitembelihle Ogangwenya. The topic that's on my mind currently is the issue of femicide. So the killing of women in South Africa, which is something that has either become really prevalent or something that we've started paying attention to. So I just want to know what the House's views is regarding that issue.
What is your view?
Unfortunately, I think it's tricky for me. It's a very tricky issue, and it's because as a black woman, I relate so much to the lived reality that these black women are facing daily, whether it's emotionally or physically. And because we find ourselves in a system of patriarchy, it becomes so entrenched within you as well as a woman that your agency is used to advance that system, and you don't realize that you're in an abusive setting or relationship. So that's what I'm thinking right now.
After I think I'm a post on Facebook and I'm newspapers as well. I've seen people on my timeline saying, "Sebeyasaba even going to town, no come alone." Do you think like in South Africa, they're under attack?
No, definitely. You can't even, I'm a student at the University of Pretoria, and walking from campus, you actually need to check the time that I don't leave before after 6, because then it's too dark to go home. And then when you are at home, then you're also still not safe because you find the perpetrators in your household. So now the question becomes then, where are you exactly safe if you can't even be safe in your so-called safe space, which is at home? So I do feel like we're under attack, and it's not being taken seriously as it should be, as opposed to if maybe the rand has been downgraded, then the country is at a halt, or it's a conversation that's spoken about. But when it's issues that are affecting women in South Africa, it's not something that's actually discussed. It's discussed for a day and then it just passes. You know what I mean?
Alrighty then. A guy olungureno sort of microphone. Unagana kataba ye femicide, and you affectile jong wena as motho wa monna.
Igama lami uNtando Yenkosi wakwaNkosi.
Yebo baba.
I'm a brother, I'm a cousin, I'm an uncle, and it's very scary to think ukuthi the first person that, and while research shows the first person or victimized the first person or victimizer of these girls are the people in the home. So it's very scary. I don't know. I think it's even how we are brought up as guys, you know. I was brought up to respect women, to protect my little sisters and cousins. But when you talk amongst your friends, you know, the words we used to call the girls, it starts there. So nathi as amachita sometimes asitshelana ukuthi makantwana yazini ucheri kumele umphathe kanje, you see. So I think it's not that they must be scared, but we need to change our mindsets as well as guys. So I think that's how we need to go about it. And sometimes we look up to these celebrities, like these marches that have been happening. That whole hype, it's not happening. We need to have a conversation.
But a conversation you wena le yona, I'm sure una le batho ba go ba leng gore ke ba bashimanyana ba banyane. O lokisha jwang so that the conversation it change from maybe what you were taught go gola to what the younger, you know, brothers over rutanyona wena as now that you know better.
I think sometimes action speaks louder than words. So how I treat my sisters and how my little brother's looking at me will make an impact in his life. So it's not much talking to the young people, but it's just to show it as well.
Good point, Ntando. But angizokwenza my brother, ngifuna ukwazi igama lakho as well. But asibuyele kule point le ukuthi thina manje abantu besilisa senza njani esimene esinjengalesi to make sure ukuthi abantu besifazane basafeel protected in this country and mabebona thina ababaleki and abasabi as well.
I libito ke Sydney Madibo. Kana holo I mean we have to stop being hypocritical as men. When the hashtag men are trash trended on Twitter, on Facebook, on different social media platforms, many of us were quick to defend. No, I'm not trash. Or no, I'm not doing these things. I mean, in order for us to understand why there is such a trend, re ke se utlwisisi bohloko bo batho ba bomme ba leng ho bona hobane ha re batho ba bomme ha re tsebe ba feta maemong a jwang ha re tsebe ho jwang ho tlamea o tsamaye ka 5 campus hobane o tshaba re ka 6 na mthatla. I think the worst e re ka etswang go re tshwarwe po le teng, it's not very common. So I think from our end, one, we need to stop being hypocritical. If there is a problem in society, if we can see how femicide is something that is happening on a daily basis in our immediate homes, in our communities, in our societies, we need to take a stand. I mean, on Monday, I visit schools between Mondays and Fridays when they usually have assemblies. And on Monday, there was a particular school, Gobo Pilong, in the Vaal Triangle where I'm from. And they're having a campaign against gender-based violence, in particular against women-based violence. And it was the school boys who were at the forefront of leading that. So that's exactly what we need to see. And as much as we wanted to change, and as much as we wanted to stop, we need to be at the forefront of fighting femicide and saying, enough is enough, but not just say enough is enough, retweet, direct Facebook. We need to go into the communities.
Okay, so we as well as home now, we're part of Lolu Hlelo by going to Facebook. It's daily_Thetha and on Twitter as well, @daily_Thetha. Let me see, I do have something from Christopher Sabela Kumete as well. The topic on my mind is economic radical transformation. In my view, I see a lack of understanding. Many of us, I still don't know what. That's a commenter. We're going to be talking more about that, but after it breaks, so this is Tata Makati with the Amake Sweat. This is what you know, topic about chooser. So, I'm down.
Daily Thetha on SABC 1. Not only we're having Thetha moments. Kinana kumpuncha di topic. But of course, having our guest a card, and it's going to be interesting. And then we're going to discuss it.
And Sino Siwengaba as well as Unobu Bele. Unobu Nwele. So Unwele Vele. We are some. Okay, cool. Guys, are you ready? We can pick up any card and then pick a topic and then see what time of views and nothing about this topic. Ubana from we pick.
She'll start first.
Okay.
Don't be scared.
Okay. Think.
All right.
Boss.
Can hold it to that camera over there and show us what it is.
Julius,
what does it say? Juju. Oh, see, I see. No, it's going to be very easy. It's going to be very easy. What comes to mind, Ronaganaka?
I think this is ours.
Julius Malema.
What comes to mind? Like maybe at first he didn't start off like the right way, the way in which we would have liked to see him. But I think now, we as and the fact that Wabuyela Skolweni studied and he's doing him in his corner, in his lane, but still sending out the right messages to the youth. I think
A for
effort, definitely.
You know, I have to say, for me, since I get into the bookstore history in political, you know, South Africa, at least the landscape, because I think Ukeni Parliament, just a couple of months after registering a political party at EFF, it's not many that can actually say it took them at least that quick enough of a momentum before Babako Parliament. I was really shocked. And for someone, of course, Natamaileko ANC and then I can go EFF, we thought, what's going to happen?
And if it's okay, to me, when Julius EFF with the rest of the members, it's going to be something like COPE, which is going to be like maybe a few years and then it's going to die out.
Fade out.
And I've seen it in the way that I never thought I would see EFF as well. I'm in places like in KZN as well. They are really like doing so much. There was a launch where Jail Tube Stadium. It was so red and I was shocked. So for me, I think he's doing such a great job.
So how kind of red? That's the first thing you think of.
But
what did you also think, Onupkwele, about them sort of like rebranding Parliament? Just how they work, the overall, and then Lebu Mama Baperino, those clothes, co-parliamenting.
I think that it's a good thing because it kind of represents a point in which Omama Betu no Tata Baitu are positioned within the employment hierarchy and stuff like that. So I do think a message by Vile and Funyeno on the other side in one way or another. And it, I don't want to say much about it, but I think in that way.
You have to say much.
Because I've got views.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. What do you think about what's happening in the parliament? Because it's kind of thing in the parliament channel right now. After the EFF, more and more youth have an interest in what's happening in the parliament. Yeah,
I think that actually the fact that parliament is much more vibrant, engage wherever we can, in classrooms, is a very good thing. It's just that now the only crisis in Nayo is the constant collapsing of dialogues or forums and stuff, but I'm glad that the youth at least is starting to discuss, or the forum is much more open and people can't now sleep or take naps during those processes. So that's a very, very
ministers. No, we can't have sleepies in Parliament. What do you think about the EFF, or at least Julius Malema, because that's the draw card we're talking about now?
Wow, Julius is an interesting character. I think my colleagues have covered him quite extensively. What I do want to say though is the one thing that and you spoke briefly on it now is the fact that the mandate is to disrupt, right? So how is it that we can be a good example in good governance when the mandate is to disrupt and to create anarchy and to counter the steps that are put in place in order for progress to take place.
Interesting.
Second cut, are you ready?
Okay.
Let's go. You're eager, Mom?
Of course.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I got an easy one.
It's Africa Month, this one. So let's go. What do you guys think of Africa Month? We're about to wrap it up.
Okay. With Africa Month, I think that it's a conversation that shouldn't take over a period of just a month. We have been seeing in universities and various structures that we have been saying that we want to decolonize our education, we want to decolonize how we are thinking. And I think that the conversation that we are having now, and I like this whole setup, is something that should be continual, because when you just box it up and say that decolonization and you just put it in, then you don't even want to include things like your radical economic transformation, although it's very shaky in itself. But I think that it's a very good thing that we have this, we recognize it, but I also think that we are not having an honest conversations with ourselves. We have this authentic African question that we have not yet engaged ourselves as African, that we are here, we are blacks who are not necessarily very fluent in our mother tongues, but we think and express ourselves using English, a colonial language and stuff. What does that say about where Africa is? What does that say about where South Africa is, and how it is, or what it means to be living in a modern African continent? So I think it's very interesting to have this conversation, but it should be much more continuous so that we can move and innovate and think and become African in our own way.
For me, Africa Month, to be honest. South Africans, we have to, we need to do better. It's a great conversation when it's being hyped up, but in our everyday living situations, we wrong. We don't want to acknowledge it. We have to try. See, we Africans, when it suits us, and Londo, it funeki change. As South Africans, we really need to try and do better.
Okay, we are Africans when it suits us, according to Usiwe. What do you think? Let's pass the mic at Gezuguti. Etini comment about Africa Month.
With Africa Month, it's tricky because we've had instances of xenophobia where we chose to be South African instead of African, where we forgot the African diaspora.
Okay, this side. Can we look at the other side as well?
Hi,
Mama.
my name is Kutlano Mokoboya. Well, basically about Africa Month, it's about why must we have an Africa Month if we're from Africa? Why isn't Africa Day or Africa Month every other month of the year? Why must we have Africa Month and Africa Day?
But don't you think, or maybe it's because sometimes or it's the convenience of 1 minute or we at least want to be westernized 1 minute, when it suits me and it suits the context or the narrative, Africa. So it's to remind if you are pro-Africa or push up pan-Africanism, Africa Month can highlight that moment. I remember it's something most boot camps say, in a space network, social media, then when you're able to be involved. Maybe that's the kind of environment the Africa Month creates.
I get that, but then we can't be African at a certain day or a certain month because you are from Africa. It is in you. It's in your blood. So why don't we celebrate it every day? Why can't I wear my traditional way whenever I feel like it? Why must we wear it on Africa Day for a certain event or any other event?
Okay, pass the microphone to my brother there. What does it mean to be an African to you?
It's quite a complex question, I think, for me, because for me, the only home that I know is Africa. So despite my ancestry coming from India, I don't know any other place but Africa. So I can only identify as African. So for me, it's a very difficult question which I still grapple with, because there's the context in which I am situated in the hierarchy and still the stratification of our society, given the after effects of apartheid and so on. So it's not a question that I have answered yet, but it is something that I grapple with all the time.
Sabugeli Thetha, it's Thetha Moments namhlanje siyabuya after this.
All right, well, Liberty Daily Thetha. It's still Thetha Moments. We are randomly picking up topics, of course, but of course associated to what's been happening in the headlines. It could be in entertainment, could be in politics, it could be socially. So we do have opinions because these conversations at a high level, whether they go parliamenting fellow amongst our leaders or the journalists in newspapers and in headlines. So we need platforms where South Africans can know how we really feel about these topics.
Thetha says about this. Let me go kuma callers wethu siza ukuthi bathini abantu asiqala lapho Nompumelelo in Soweto. Welcome to Daily Thetha ma. Nompumelelo waphumelela unompumelelo. Let's go to PE Sihle.
Yes sir.
Kunjani bye?
Ngiyaphila kunjani?
Akhonto kwakuthi mfowethu. Ithini comment yakho ngohlelo namhlanje?
Guys, I wanted to speak about the rape culture issue in the country and other issues as well. I think our approach to it has been very reactionary instead of proactive. What I'm trying to say is we react to what we see happening as opposed to addressing the challenges and the conditions we have that produce. For example, you take inequality, right? Inequality is such a huge issue in the country, and you find that most contexts which were previously oppressed, they struggle with issues like crime, like inequality, and so on and so forth. And these issues are systemic and they are structural. And I believe, for example, when we speak about rape culture, the conditions for rape have been created. We only respond to the cases we see of rape and hear, but we don't address the conditions that make that necessary or make it happen in a sense.
Oh wow, so that's a heavy one, eh?
It's a very heavy one.
Yeah, but it needs to be discussed.
Especially to me, because if ubheka kahle i-rape culture and abantu abasuke behlukumezekile, we are lapha court and unikeza a chance ukuthi cross-examine by someone and that person thought ukhona as well, intimidate again, especially for kids, because I was looking at ama-stats, ama-case rape agcina ephelelile nanokuthi bagcina begwetshiwe abantu bakhona. Very few, because ingane kuthiwa ayikhulume nomalume wayo, nomalume ukhona la kwi-stand, agcina ingasakwazi nokuthi Teddy Bear was actually addressing such an issue as well.
Yeah, it's a very, very heated one. Even about we need to have more, children's courts in South Africa who address such issues. So the baba feel safe. But I feel like I want to be joined by Itumile Mafaseli Sydney Madibo. This particular topic. What do you think? What comes to mind? Rape culture in South Africa, Itumile.
I think it's obviously a problem, and I think, like the caller said, that it's part of who we are. And because we allow certain things, relevana, as boys are allowed to do, we spoil children from a young age. We don't correct children from a young age. Lerona relebacholo hari correctani. Then there's sort of an attitude that says, I have access and I have control of another person. So I think that's one of the things that need to change. Because we know rape is happening, but not many people come out and speak about it. And one of the problems that I've had, how rape today, how lo case, saying then there's a procedure, but no, did you bath? No satlamelo hlape, did you, and I think that system is a bit problematic because I think into consideration, the victim goes through so much that the first thing you think of is, I want to get rid of the scent of this person. So sometimes the process is process because 1, 2, 3, 4, this has to happen. But at a practical and more personal level, hadi kopani handle. So I think it's important to sort of shift, and the policies are whether it's at correctional service level or social development level with children, must become more personal and not just
technical.
Okay, Sydney, when ucabanga kanjani, because there's a system yokuthi umuntu wesifazane ufika aresha umuntu emphakathini, and while the process kusa investigate and everything lo muntu phambi kwakhe, do you think ba protected abantu besifazane, especially kuma cases anjengalala kusokhona kukhulunywa ngokudlengulwa as well?
It's interesting when we're having this discussion. We were discussing femicide in Potchefstroom. And the suggestion is still about for example, the legal system needs to be overhauled completely, especially when Haribuaka ka ditaba tse amanang le peto Afrika Borwa haholo. One of the presenters habua are there was a visitor from an international country coming into South Africa. About I've been to countries and I've seen how ruthless people are, but South Africa men, when it comes to your women, so I really think
South Africa.
Yeah, and happy also. So what image are we putting to the rest of the world? I mean, if you have a wife or South Africa for honeymoon, and you look at the stats, or this is what's happening in South Africa, these are the trends that are happening. And I don't think necessarily, I mean, it is through the discussions as men that we come to understand rape doesn't only happen when I am forcefully on top of you. It is in conversation. It is when I am buying you 12 dumpies and I take you home and you are intoxicated out of your mind, but still I want to continue and have intercourse with you. I think when we begin to understand rape culture in its entirety, we'll begin to understand and I'm trying to force you down. It begins in how we think, it begins in how we act. I mean, it is unfortunate, especially in South Africa. It's a class divide. If you are a white woman living in Sandton, living in a townhouse, and you drive to and from work every day, the chances of you being exposed to rape culture are not as prevalent as how le motho wa mme o theoha taxi Joburg CBD, and you have to walk past a taxi rank full of taxi drivers and men, and that whole system of patriarchy. It's you are less of a human being. So we need to understand rape culture. It's not only there, and I've come to understand it. It is through the interactions that we have. And
I like that point. We need to uncondition our minds and our mindsets. Only it starts way back. The system.
So I know yeah, my size. Well,
Ronaldo to talking to dive into our next topic. You can choose a card.
Okay, I have this one.
All right, and I'll win second, right? Oh, yellow, what is it?
Musi my money in Zambia.
All right.
FC. Special back like card, no?
Okay.
Maskulumeni.
So Musi my money in Zambia. That's a card.
What did you understand when I do mailing? What happened to Zambia? For when?
Okay, well, now what I got from it was that obviously he was declined or not allowed into the country. And he was saying Gutiena, he feels victimized because he's probably like politically related, reasons. And then it's not representative of maybe not to borrow from somewhere else. Africa, where you can go in and out of sort of freedom of movement. So I think that was a violation. He felt violated in that respect.
Because I couldn't Africa Day. It was on the 25th of
Which,
May.
So it's like, Africa Day, but And I think, I personally don't think, I can't know passport, you don't need a visa to move from one country to another
in Africa.
So I think that's good because it encourages us to get to know countries and actually see how it's similar to ourselves. And it also helps us not to deal with like things of xenophobia and like migration related problems. So I think it's important. But I also think Zambia as a country, so I could say sort of state sovereignty is important. And I think if Zambia, we can't allow, they have the right of admission into a country. And I think that should be respected. And I think also maybe a bit controversial, I think in a way, maybe nearly grandstanding on the part of, Musi. This is what I think personally. And I'm not too sure about the intentions. And I think that's one of the problems with politics in general in South Africa and in everywhere. Or politicians, because not so much because
a media team, they like the camera. So some question, or you're doing something, or was
you
it
actually genuinely wanted to.
I don't know what you think about this, my brother. Could you pass the microphone? Musi my money in Zambia?
Yeah, I think politically, I think what happens, what genuinely happened is the Pan-Africanist liberation movement, and the liberation movements of Africa, right? There were certain movements that were trusted by, what would be the governing party in Zambia, and ones that were not trusted. And I think Musi, with his views and his political affiliation, is one that would be seen as an enemy of the African liberation movement, and I think it was all down to politics. I don't think it had anything to do with with anything other than the fact that Musi is a member of the DA, which is aligned to what the DA equivalent of Zambia, So I think it's just politics.
Sabukele Daily Thetha on SABC 1 and namhlanje mhlawumbe uyazibuza ukuthi hayibo kwenzakalani kule show sinama Thetha moments, so speak any topic and must discuss ukuthi abantu abasha bacabanga ngayo as well. But sikishile now on Facebook na ku Twitter, I see there's something coming from Katlego as well. Since it's Africa Month, it's also the right time to consider our country's name. South Africa is a description of a location. So maybe you should go Azania. I don't know. Let's find out after this.
It's a Thetha moment, Sona more Daily Thetha. Lokhonle, we have, of course, our panelists, our studio audience members, including you at home, phone lang on 011-339-1315. All the topics they need to be discussed, especially amongst the youth. But we still have Sydney Madiba joining, yes, and then we also have Camille Ali Olungurena joining, just to have a bit of a Thetha moment with them. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have you choose a card. And then, should I start with ladies?
Yeah, let's go.
Are you sure?
Ladies first. So pick a card and then let's discuss it.
I'll go for the blue.
No.
Why not the blue?
What is it? Show it to the camera. What is it? Read it fast.
Jeff Ratev.
Jeff Ratev. There you go. Our Honorable Minister. All right. What comes to mind? Ma'am.
But I'm sure big my papers. I don't know.
Yeah, we had a chat about it actually now in the makeup room where we were talking about the whole sending nudes and that whole situation. I don't know how to feel about it because of his age and why was he requesting nudes? I was just confused
so
about
age, it's a male and a lay requesting.
Like, yo.
It's an age thing.
I think it's an age thing. You're like, what, 69? You're almost 70.
So you're saying utaba 60 something abanga wacela manut?
Like
No, I'm just asking.
like you're old. Why are you asking for that? Like usually
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of Sydney? What do you think about this?
Let me just try to gather myself.
But didn't he apologize?
Yes, he did.
I think there was a spread. I apologize, of course, to South Africa. But Camille, if you were able to spin it, or you were in that situation, how would you have handled it as a minister in the presidency?
I honestly, wow. I don't think there's a way to spin this. I think as a minister, there's a certain expectation of you, unfortunately. You need to conduct yourself in a particular way. And I mean, it's just unbecoming of someone who's in a leadership position to be,
I think, it's the burning issue, femicide, gender-based violence, it's always going to come up. So, I mean, albeit the age, what is currently happening in the country?
Yeah.
Do
you need water? I can see what you're coughing. I'm sorry.
Like, what position of power do you hold? And how much influence do you have? So if you, as a minister in the presidency, can do that, then the message that comes to me, the ordinary citizen on the ground, but I
don't know about this, Ugut, and I think it's scandalous cool since '94. Esiqala ukusibona with Jeff Ratev. Angazi noma khona amanye, correct me if I'm wrong, but abanye bayibuka ngento it's very much political. Why now?
But at the same time, I mean, if this is the biggest scandal since 1994, there's nothing stopping him from maintaining that consistency. I mean, if you've been an exceptional leader since then until now, why would something so, although it's not so simple, why would something that is not even at your level or something that is at your caliber, and why would you allow it to taint your reputation this much? So I think the saying goes, consistency is key.
Yeah, no, I was working. I mean, basadi ba bantši kgale ba bolela about this thing ya gore ke monna o leng gore o in power and mohlomongwe e ka se hame reputation ya hae because wa tlhompheha. What do you think about these things happening, especially to batho ba leng gore ba influential?
Thing is, now I think it was timing. I think it was also bad because of what's happening to the woman right now. So where now okupa these things, Ibankari, you're encouraging them to take nudes, and then with what's happening right now, pictures are now surfacing on the internet, and at the end of the day, one thing leads to another. It's now on social media and people are making jokes about it. And at the end of the day, we're now ngwanyana o isendile o nagana gore e tlo fella ko yena. But at
do
the
you
end of
think
the day,
Mosadi had the agency ya gore a decide gore a ke
Because-
tse dinepe tse?
but then also sometimes she wants to say something.
Yeah, I wanted you just to make your point first and then re tlo go bonngwele.
But then another thing is, fella, I'm to our sendela le yona, o nagana gore wa o trusta. And then if I send you something like this, I'm trusting you to keep it to yourself. And then also, actually, over the internet now, people are going to start seeing it. Now people are going to start talking to you in a certain way, saying certain things that come across to you, and it did look. And at the end of the day, then your reputation and your dignity.
Yeah.
Oh hi, igama lami nokulunga Ntombeni Spear. Thing is, my question I'm asking Eguti, is it a scandal ngoba it's a minister? Like, I mean, it's between two people, right? Yeah. We don't know if they have a relationship or whatever, but I mean, sending nudes, it wasn't forced. So when he says things like femicide and what's happening right now, I want to disagree just a bit because it's between the two of them. We don't know what's happening between them. She wasn't forced. She did it on her own will. Okay, now that they were sent out in the media or whatever, okay, that's sad because now she might be now called out, ngamagama, kuthiwa unje uyi-prostitute or whatever. But now the thing is, I don't feel like we can really say, you know, it's a scandal, you know.
I think it's a scandal.
It's a scandal because it's
I think
out.
for your
But
minister in the
between them-
presidency and the certain morale that your citizens or at least South Africans hold you in, and we know how you're married, we know how Rwanda as papa, and the lady is young.
Okay,
so I
but-
think in that sense, yeah, your career it makes it at least newsworthy for journalists to chow on and put on a front
That's what
page
I'm
of a
saying. Is it a
tabloid.
scandal because he's a minister? What if it was some guy in corporate or somewhere, you know? Okay. What were we going to say?
No,
to set an example.
we respect your opinion on that one as well. At home, please, let's discuss this. I saw something, Tando Mahlangu, let's discuss Upeb Sotumo and South Africa Awards, Daily Thetha, and hashtag Mapinta Challenge. Maybe we should discuss that.
No, tomorrow we're definitely coming back with that.
We have to.
We need to come back with that Mampinja challenge. We're going to have our own Daily Thetha venting moment.
Yeah.
Mara re tlo nkgola gone
Be sure
jaanong,
to
Boitumelo
invite
Amogela on the line. Hi, Boitumelo. Boiti, bitso la ka bathong. All right, Boitumelo ka re o tsamaile. Do we have another social media there? We still have Tando Olongor Owanamo. But Kami, let's just come back to me while we're still waiting for social media, just in wrapping up this discussion. What do you think about, you know, the culture of even young people, they always have, you know, a culture of, you know, whether it's sending each other news at schools, we see it all the time, principals and teachers calling children out. What's the role of society and parents and schools in assisting in this issue?
So I think it speaks exactly to that, to a societal issue where I think as South Africans, we need to address our morals and our values and the things that we hold in esteem as young people especially. So if, I mean, obviously it's your agency if you want to make the decision to be in a relationship where you're interchanging with those kind of things, you know. But personally, I think it speaks largely to the moral compass with which our society uses.
Okay. Sezwa kahle kakhulu, and there's something as well. Mbongiseni Mthokozisi uthi bayamlaya umusi Maimane. People outside South Africa, they don't pretend on apartheid regime. It's unlike SA where they just abuse the freedom of speech. Talk to us as well on 011-339-1315. We're talking Thetha moments. Seabuya after this Saivan. Welcome back to Daily Thetha, and I'm trying to sikhuluma about Thetha moments. Topics asenyongweni wakho sifuna ukwazi ukuthi wena ikuphi topic ofuna ukukhuluma ngana nokuthi uthini umbono wakho ngayo. Singeza lelo thuba nje on Thetha moments. Sifonele or find us on Facebook na ku Twitter as well. Iqhubeka inkulumo sizwe ukuthi thini. But let's just do the last cards now. It's only 4 us aselele.
I think so.
Okay, let me go to you Signal. Ngithathe lutho ne. What's that? Oh, green.
The performance of the rand.
Performance of the rand.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Hey, now my views on the performance of the rand go back to the 80s and 90s. I think my honest opinion is the performance of the rand needs to be equated to obviously the living conditions of our people. And if we haven't begun to address that, then we can't. When Minister Pravin Gordhan was still Minister of Finance, he projected a 5% economic growth by 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Then shortly after that, he was removed and then replaced, and then there was that whole reshuffling issue that was happening in Parliament. But that's not the root of the problem. I mean, in 1993, Hane, Bo Minister Pravin Gordhan, Bo Trevor Manuel, and all the likes, bane bale part of what is called a transitional executive committee that later on became an interim government. So there were certain compromises by Dinkile during the CODESA negotiations that, for example, halted radical economic transformation. Understand? I mean, I really do not think that there's anything stopping South Africa from learning from countries like Rwanda, one of the fastest growing economies in the world, learning from the regime, General Thomas Sankara during 83 to 87. How did he use expropriation, nationalization, taking back the land, giving it to the people for the purpose of developing his people? And how did he use that equation to develop his people and at the same time grow the economy of Burkina Faso in a short space of time, coming from such a regime? It's been 23 years now in South Africa. We're expecting the rand to perform at its best, but geographically, nothing has changed.
Camille, rating agencies also play a role in sort of like putting us on the verge, on our edge, and not being sure what's happening. We're seeing with the repo rate and the lending rates, South African Reserve Bank saying, or they'll rather stay at a stagnant position. But with all the rating agencies downgrading South Africa to junk status, how do you think the rand is holding up there?
So my understanding of economics is very vague. I'm a law student. But I think rating agencies, I mean, they play a very interesting role in economics. And we see the recent announcement by China, which also they had a downgrade and they rejected it. So for them, it didn't, that particular rating didn't affect the economy the way the rating agency would have anticipated it to. So I think it is a responsibility of the South African government to take that accountability and responsibility and say, no, we're not going to allow these things to affect us. We're going to actually take active steps towards affecting change. I mean, there's the buzzword, radical economic transformation, but I do think that that particular buzzword doesn't have any content to it yet. It's just a term at this point, and it needs to be given meat.
We had a show we shouldn't even be worried about these rating agencies because one of my agendas are teased about push. What do you think of
I am also not really clued up with this because I'm in PR and marketing. But I think with the whole thing, the root of the problem is we should start with people that don't have jobs. Because unemployment is at its peak right now. And more graduates, black graduates, are graduating. So if we can start by providing them with people who are down there, your graduates, entry level, and providing people with jobs so they can live a better life, our rent might go up. Because now people are working for their own, they are providing, and they are able to pay all their expenses and everything like that. Then I guess somehow, some way, it will go up and improve.
Okay. Let's do one more. We left with 3 now.
Camille,
they did.
Actually.
Okay, come in. Let's see.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Okay, you made me unsure, so I'm going to choose a different one.
Don't fix this match.
Wow.
I can't believe this.
What is it?
I think...
Yes.
What do you think about the Summers and the whole judging process? Because I think the crux of Babe's message is that she feels she had a big record. She feels that she deserved at least a Summer award, and she's now nominated for a BET award, and she feels like the judging process is rigged in a way.
On the video as well, she even mentioned that even white people are singing Wololo.
I think that's Mampincha who said that. She didn't say it.
Like,
Mampincha said that.
She posted the video as well. So I was like, okay, so I don't know what you think about that.
What do you think?
Can I pass?
Yes. Maybe we can say something about this.
I mean, with competitions like the Summers, the Metros, someone was saying, for example, Lebos Khobela's Lion of Judah trended even Lekodi Tavining, people were singing it everywhere, but still it didn't win an award. And there's a lesson to be learned from this. Man. I mean, how many artists? If I mean, the comment is unfair. If diare kwa batho ba inkela tsona batho ba ipikela tsona, I mean batho ba sebetsang ka thata, like my personal favorite Questa, are you also implying hore lena ya hae ka tswa e batlile shopping or something like that? I think it's just a matter of patience, man. It's because it's trending doesn't necessarily mean for it might win an award now. Ke rana tlamehile iphe nako o lo ka e rata mara You know.
All right, I think
Okay.
what is your comment regarding the issue with Babes?
I like Babes a lot. I think she's fantastic.
Yeah.
But we were dancing to one song like the whole year. I got tired of it. And that's the reality. And I think the summers kind of got tired. And I think it's good and well to feel like you deserve a lot of things. But everyone that does a record feels like it's the song. And it's fine. She must let other children shine. We know her. We are acknowledging her. And we are rooting for her for the BETs. But like... can also another song, and she must also time these things of releasing. You can't release February and think that next year, February, May, you'll be getting that
I was
award.
about to ask something like that to go to Anna. If awards ayenzakale ngoJanuary, because December we're dancing to Babes. But if ayenzakale ngoJanuary, do you think bekhona umehluko bezoba khona?
Unyaka unqamulo uFandam. So I mean,
and he's not complaining.
He was not even nominated that one. He was not even nominated that one.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know it's a deep one. It's a hectic one. Let's see what's happening on social media before we close up. We have one here from Renee. Order this Jeff Khadebe issue is a scandal. Moral decay is showing its ugly head in our country. Jesus must come down. Hey, yeah, when in tough times we call on the name of the Lord. That's about Jesus Christ. But thank you so much for joining us on Daily Thetha. It was very interesting.
Very much. And we'll be talking about the awards. So if uzobe ukhona ekhaya, make sure that you ayibukela iDaily Thetha. So sikhuluma ngawo lama judges akhona na ukuthi ijudge kanjani le tema awards, because abantu abaningi bahlezi complain ukuthi akawinanga uSibambana akawinanga, but khona amanye angavotela. Wanna find out about that as well on Daily Thetha.
And given the videos that were going viral all over the place, we're having our own Mampinja challenge. We're going to complain as Daily Thetha. Why are we training every day? We're on daily. No more. Yeah, no more. Abantwana belungu basibukela mara anisvoteli. Okay, fine. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.